Previously on One Piece is Hilarious, the Straw Hats escape the Navarro Marine base using the octopus from Sky Island, and once they escape, they set the octopus free, allowing him to go on his own adventures on the high seas. Not gonna lie, I really thought they were just gonna eat him, but pleasant surprise, they are really grateful. So the octopus is free now, and the Straw Hats are just chilling, waiting for their next adventure. So at this point in the story, that is the hilarious state that the Straw Hats have found themselves in. And things are about to get a lot more funny because we're approaching an arc that a lot of people think is filler because of how ridiculous it is. I mean, it's not a good sign when the filler arc that was before your arc is more popular than you. It's just not a good sign. But that's right, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about Long Ring, Long Land, and Captain Foxy. So listen, I was really excited to get into this arc because from the jump, it is just hilarious. Like everything that's happening is just like, none of it's serious, like at all. And like I said, at this point in the story, all of the Straw Hats are just waiting in the middle of the ocean for their next adventure to start. When suddenly, a sea monkey tidal wave shows up out of nowhere. And while the wave is chasing the Straw Hats, Luffy comments that he wants to party with those sea monkeys. They just like me for real. The Straw Hats manage to get away from the sea monkey tidal wave, and this is when Robin, who's been chilling in the crow's nest, says that she saw an island about 10 minutes ago, but she didn't say anything because she just assumed that everybody saw it too. So they get to the new island, and everybody's talking about how they should be cautious because they definitely don't want to jump headfirst into another adventure unprepared like the last two adventures that they've been on. But Luffy, Usopp, and Chopper jump off the Mary immediately and just start goofing around. Yahoo! And this is when the island exploration group of Luffy, Usopp, and Chopper, they start encountering a bunch of long-ass animals. But it's not just the animals, the fruit too. Everything on this island is long. Eventually they come across this long-ass house. Luffy walks in like he owns the place, and they see that no one's home, but then they walk back outside and they see that there's now a long-ass horse just chilling outside. And while they're talking to the long-ass horse, bamboo sticks that are coming out of the ground, they just start attacking Luffy. And Luffy immediately, without warning, just swings on the bamboo sticks. He's like, I don't know what's going on, but that's never stopped me from throwing a punch before. And when Luffy swings on the bamboo, that's when an old man falls from the sky. Because apparently, Luffy knocked him off of his bamboo stilts. He'd been walking on them this entire time. So this old man's name is Tanjit, and he's been walking on these stilts for about 10 years. Apparently, he just really likes stilts and long stuff, so he decided, I'm just gonna make the longest stilts in the world. And he did just that, but once he got up there on the longest stilts known to mankind, he realized that he was afraid of heights. So he's been up there, too scared to come down for about 10 years. So that's like Gaiamon levels of stupidity. But that's all the explanation that he gives, so presumably, he would have just been up there for the rest of One Piece if this crackhead didn't come out of nowhere and knock his ass off of his stilts. Regardless, he is thankful to be back down, and he starts taking in all of the scenery and remarking about how all of the animals are even longer than when he left them. Oh look, a long-ass snow leopard. Why is it long sideways? That's when the old man tells him to come inside and he offers them some milk, and Usopp very correctly remembers, you've been up there for 10 years. I don't think that milk is gonna be milk anymore. Sure enough, this old man pulls out the milk from his refrigerator, and it's just the most moldy. It's cheese. It's literally cheese at this point. Luffy almost takes some. Usopp has to stop him. Luffy, don't eat the cheese. So the old man goes over a story. Apparently, in this string of long-ass islands, the villagers migrate every once in a while, okay? So the last time they migrated, they ended up leaving him behind because this guy was being a dummy on the longest stilts in the world. And this when Luffy laughs out loud, and he's like, you know what? I like you. You a real dumbass. The old man also says that he's looking for his horse, and then Luffy and Usopp remember, like, we just saw a long-ass horse outside, didn't we? And so the old man walks outside, and sure enough, that is Shelly, his long-ass horse that never abandoned him. And it's honestly pretty heartwarming because even the old man's family, they left him. I mean, they cared about him, they cried. They had to leave him, though. They have to migrate, and his dumbass, he was messing around in the clouds on those long-ass stilts. But the horse was like, nah, my dog, he's gonna come back one day. It's like that one sad-ass Futurama episode, but it had a happy ending because that old man came back down and was reunited with Shelly. And to celebrate, he starts riding Shelly all across the island. And as the old man Tanjit is riding Shelly, celebrating their reunion, suddenly, a bunch of lunatics come out of nowhere and shoot a net, capturing Shelly. And that is when the antagonist of this arc, the split-head Foxy, makes his appearance known. And Luffy hates him as soon as he sees him. This guy looks hilarious. Who are you? I'm the man with the most filler cannon arc, and you suckers about to get hit with the Davy Back fight. Did he say a Davy Back fight? Oh no. Luffy, get away from him. So Usopp hears this and is terrified. Keep in mind, the main goal right now for the Straw Hats is to find a shipwright and fix the Mary. The Mary's been through a lot. And just imagine being Usopp. You're in the middle of this very important mission to save what you consider to be a valuable crewmate. And in the middle of that, here comes another band of lunatics who challenges your captain to a crash out contest. Like a crazy person challenging Luffy, who is already a dangerously unhinged, crazy crackhead just looking for a reason to swing on somebody. Like this is a nightmare nightmare scenario for Usopp because he knows if Luffy agrees, they're gonna be here all day fighting these lunatics. Meanwhile, on the other side of the island, the Foxy Pirate ship has actually blocked off the Mary so that it can't escape, and they begin talking to the other Straw Hats, explaining what the hell a Davy Back fight is. You see, a Davy Back fight is pretty much just like Field Day from elementary school, except with pirates, shenanigans, and just a lot of ridiculous things. I'm pretty sure one of the games inside a Davy Back fight is literally just wacky races, and 100% I think the reason why a lot of people think that this arc is filler, because anytime like you tune into an anime and they're outside playing baseball or they're doing like carnival games or something, you're gonna skip? That's a filler. Getting distracted. Anyway, the purpose of a Davy Back fight is to do all of these weird ass games, and then every time somebody wins, they get a new crew member. You can either do 1 game, 2 game, or 3 games, and each time you win, you can take a crew member from the crew that you are battling. As soon as they're done explaining it, Nami's like, okay, well that sounds dumb. There's no way that we would agree to a game that could see us losing some of our crew members. And right as she says that, she hears a gun going off in the distance, signaling that Luffy, that dangerous son of a bitch, has already agreed to the Davy Back fight. And Usopp is flabbergasted. He's like, why did you do that? We could have just beat him up. Like, Luffy, come on, be for real. What about the old man and his horse? I'm all good. Give him hell, Captain Crackhead. What? All right. So everyone reunites as the official announcer goes over the rules of the Davy Back fight. Usopp and Nami hear this and immediately decide, okay, let's just do 1 game. We'll mop his ass up and then we can all get off this island. Luffy sees his crew members holding up 1 finger, turns back to Foxy, and he's like, yeah, I got it. We want 3 games, Foxy. And Usopp's flabbergasted again. He's like, okay, so even if he saw me and Nami holding up 1 finger each, like that's just 2 games. Like, where did he get the 3rd finger? They turn to their right and they see one of the Foxy Pirates also holding up a finger. So this idiot looked to the crowd, sees that there are 3 fingers being held up, and doesn't even bother to check if the fingers are coming from his crew or not. Idiot. He literally just saw 3 fingers and was like, got it. Give me 3 coins, Fox man. After that, they need to choose the roster for all of the games, which cannot be updated. Once they submit all of the names for the people that will be competing in each specific game, they cannot be changed, and each crew member can only compete twice. And for the first match, it looks like every single Straw Hat is up to compete. And the first is a donut race, which is a lap around Long Ring Long Land. Now they have to make this lap in a raft that they each make from 3 barrels that they are provided. And in this lap around Long Ring Long Land, as you may have guessed, anything goes. You can sink ships, you can really do whatever you want. It's just wacky races. It is literally just wacky races. Usopp, are you sure this raft won't sink? Well, as I keep explaining to everyone, I'm a sniper, not a shipwright. I barely understand what I'm doing here. But even still, I think we did a better job than those 2. Luffy and Sanji are straight up just paddling on boards, and Chopper and Zoro have made an overly complicated rowboat, so everyone is in the crowd just laughing at Luffy and Sanji's boat. I don't know, I think we did a pretty good job. Why do I keep getting stuck with you in these ridiculous situations? Like, we've been paired up in the last, 3 videos. I don't know, but I still think we should call the raft Sassafras. So the match starts, and immediately one of the Foxy Pirate ships releases a bunch of barrels that explode when you touch them, like a minefield. So when Luffy sees this, he's like, don't worry, I've got a plan, and he starts winding up a punch. But Sanji's quick to stop him, like, Luffy, please don't punch the barrels that we literally just saw they explode on impact. Like, you're just gonna kill us all. We just started! Can you relax? Please, God, sit down. So Zoro manages to use his sword skills to push the barrels back into the big-ass barrel boat that they came out of. This blows up the Foxy Pirate ship boat and creates a massive tidal wave that propels the rest of the Straw Hats forward. Foxy's crew, however, still has some tricks up their sleeve as they send out the pleasure boat distraction, which is honestly just a boat with a bunch of women, booze, and food on it, which honestly would have taken all of them out right there. This is the first time Luffy ate that day, so he starts chowing down. Zoro is an alcoholic, so of course he starts drinking. Sanji is, I don't need to explain. The women pretty much take him out of it. The only reason that they all snap out of it is because Sanji hears Nami calling out to him, and he's like, all right, no, we gotta get out of here, okay? Pleasure boat be damned. And it's a good thing that Sanji snaps out of it because Nami and Robin are actually in trouble further up ahead. And in response to this trouble, Robin does what she does best and just attempts to murder one of the Foxy Pirates, immediately. But at the same time, one of the Foxy Pirates actually managed to sink Chopper and Zoro's rafts. So now their only hope of winning rests with Usopp, Nami, and Robin, and Sanji and Luffy. So to help them get the lead, Luffy says, Gomu Gomu no screw. He sticks his hand in the water and starts propelling them forward. Now, because this is seawater, Luffy doesn't have that long to propel them forward this way. And in fact, as soon as the Straw Hats take the lead, he runs out of energy, and they need to think of something else if they want to win this. Meanwhile, Foxy is riding one of his crew members heading toward the finish line, ready to hold the Straw Hats something foul. And he tries to cheat in a bunch of different ways. like dressing up as an old woman who needs help and setting up a bunch of fake goalposts so that they would go through there and think that they've won. Which, funny enough, his crew actually falls for the fake goalposts that he puts up, which is hilarious when you think of the Foxy Pirates. They have set up this entire game, so they should know where the real goalpost is. And just imagine being Foxy, just like, you stupid idiot. We set this up 30 minutes ago. You know that's not the right one. Go through the real one. The Straw Hats, however, are not stupid. They don't fall for any Foxy's tricks, and this is when Foxy pulls out his real trump card, which is his devil fruit power. Right before the Straw Hats win the race, Foxy reveals that he ate the slow fruit, which means he can create a slow beam and make the people that he hits with that beam a little bit slower for about 30 seconds, which is just a very stupid power to have on the Grand Line. But in a wacky racist scenario, pretty damn useful. So the Foxy Pirates win the first round, and this is when Foxy shows everybody who he really wanted on the Straw Hat crew this entire time. Dr. Chopper from New York City. Word from G8 has spread far and wide of this outstanding gentleman performing open heart surgery and helping people with their relationship with their parents. Like, Foxy even heard a story about how Dr. Chopper put a new brain inside someone's head in G8, and that person went on to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Foxy knows better than anybody from all of these stories that Dr. Chopper is a must-have on any pirate crew, so he picks him immediately. So at this point in time, the Foxy Pirates have gotten exactly what they wanted, which is Dr. Chopper on the Foxy Pirates. And so Chopper is understandingly just very upset. I mean, imagine being a part of the Foxy Pirates. 90% of your job is setting up the games. You might not even get to play. Zoro has to set him straight, like, you know, relax, we're gonna get you back, stop crying. For some reason that works, Chopper pulls himself together and he's like, all right, let's do this, let's keep these games going, my crew is gonna get me back. And so the next match of the Davy Back fight begins, and this match was supposed to include Chopper, so now it looks like the Straw Hats are down a man for this competition. Even worse though, it looks like the people that are participating are Zoro and Sanji, which just, if let's say that you're going into this video without the context, you need to understand why this is hilarious. That's like getting Mr. Krabs and Plankton to work together for a charity fundraiser. All right, neither of them want to be there anyway, but they'll be damned if they ever work together to do that. And for this match, it's kind of like basketball, except one of the members is the ball. So you have to take the member that is designated as the ball on that team and then basically just dunk his ass in one of the hoops. And so when they ask Sanji and Zoro which one of them is going to be the ball, Zoro's like, all right, yeah, but give it to him. Put that stupid shit on him. And Sanji's mad as hell. He's like, why the hell do I have to be the ball? Hey Sanji, Nami says you look cute in that hat. I was born to be the ball. So the match starts, and just right off the bat, they are both refusing to work together, saying that they would literally rather get their ass kicked for 30 minutes straight in front of all of these people than ever spend any time working together. And so about 30 minutes later, after their asses have been thoroughly whooped, they're each laying on the ground going over their options. Okay, maybe we should work together. Yeah, it feels like this whole thing got out of hand. I mean, we can work together for like 10 seconds, for God's sake. What's hilarious is that they literally probably had like 2% in their tank, because again, they've been getting their asses beat for like 30 minutes. And with that 2% left in the tank, they whoop everyone's ass and win the Davy Back fight. So because the Straw Hats win, it's time for them to choose who on the Foxy Pirates crew that they want to join the Straw Hats. And you might think, you know, this is easy, they're just gonna pick Chopper. Foxy, for some reason, thinks that they're going to choose him. Foxy thinks of this and is just in his mind making peace that, okay, you know, maybe this is my home now. Maybe I'm meant to be a part of the Straw Hats. He fully makes peace with all of that. He's got this happy ass look on his face, and Luffy's like, what the hell are you looking so happy for? I'm not picking you. Foxy's devastated, and everybody's like, all right, go ahead and just hurry up and pick Chopper. But to everyone's surprise, this crackhead shouts to the crowd, Shelly! Calls off for the long ass horse. So Luffy picks Shelly, saving the horse, but ensuring that Chopper is still a part of the Foxy Pirates at least until this next round is done. Wow, thank you. I don't know how to repay you. Yeah, whatever. Just promise me that now that I got your horse back, you can hook me up with some of that spicy cheese you had at the crib. What? Oh, okay. Luffy, don't eat the cheese. Shut up. If I'm gonna be doing carnival games all day, I'm gonna need some snacks. So the Straw Hats prepare for the third and final round of the Davy Back fight, which is gonna be roller derby NASCAR for some reason. And this is another race, but the trick is everybody is on skates. And so when the Straw Hats are deciding the roster for each of the 5 rounds in this roller derby NASCAR, they very confidently place Luffy in 2 rounds, the first and the 5th match. I guess their logic is, you know, he's the most crack-headed among us. He's obviously gonna go real fast on some skates. Their logic, however, falls apart immediately when they realize that Luffy has no idea how to skate. And it's bad, he can't even stand up out there. So the first match is just a wash, okay? Now combining Luffy not knowing how to skate with just the Foxy Pirates just cheating all over the place, I think at one point in time, they literally just hypnotized the Straw Hats. So things are going pretty bad for the Straw Hats. I mean, the Foxy Pirates are just cheating left and right. I think at one point, the person that Usopp is racing on the Foxy Pirates is literally just a cheetah. They literally just put a cheetah in a jersey and some skates and just sent him loose on the track. I don't think he's a Zoan or even a mink. I think he was for real just a cheetah that they put clothes on. But because of all of this, it looks like the Foxy Pirates are going to win. And they would have if it wasn't for off on the sidelines. Zoro has been teaching Luffy how to skate this entire time. And now imagine being Foxy, all right? You are in this position. You are leading the Davy Back fight. You just managed to secure Dr. Chopper, all right? So your crew is undoubtedly going to be better no matter what. And you are seconds away from clutching this victory and getting to pick another lunatic to join your crew. And the only thing that could stop you is a crackhead learning how to skate. Mind you, 3 minutes ago, he couldn't even stand up on the things. But now it looks like Luffy has completed another training arc speed run. Because after that short 3 minutes of teaching that Zoro gave him, Luffy is out there racing with the best of the best. Foxy can't believe his eyes. This guy couldn't skate at all a couple minutes ago, and now he's trying to get into the league. So Luffy learns how to skate, and by the way, just skate. He hasn't even really figured out how to turn around yet, but that's enough. Luffy just starts skating around the track, beating up everybody on the track. So that lunatic just goes crazy. I think at one point he even threatens the referee. So after Luffy gets done checking everybody, nobody even tries to win because they know they're gonna get exactly what the last guy got. So Luffy just skates his way all the way to the win. So with that very decisive victory for Captain Crackhead, the Straw Hats are finally able to take back Chopper. And it's literally over at this point. We would be hitting roll credits right here. If it wasn't for Foxy, that sly son of a gun, he got the bright idea to challenge Captain Crackhead to another Davy Back fight immediately after it's over. Now, when Foxy challenges Luffy, I think everybody in the crew, they thought the same thing. Like, what do you do? You're crazy. All right. Like our captain would just agree to it immediately after ending the last game. And right as they think that, Luffy pulls out a pistol, shoots it in the air, and says, I accept. The Straw Hats are flabbergasted. Usopp's like, where did you get that pistol? Who keeps giving that to you? So immediately, just like that, the Straw Hats are in for another Davy Back fight. Like the tension has reset, and now everybody is in danger of being taken into the Foxy Pirates again. Literally for no reason. Luffy was just like, yeah, it seems like a good enough time as any to crash out. And truthfully, I think that the reason that Luffy agreed to another Davy Back fight, like immediately, is because Luffy has not gotten the chance to beat up Foxy yet. Like the carnival games have been fun for Luffy, but I really think at this point in time, he's just waiting for something to turn into a street fight. It always does. So the Davy Back fight is still on, and it's a dodgeball match. And even with all the cheating that the Foxy Pirates are doing, the Straw Hats still almost win. And they would have won if it wasn't for Luffy just deciding to eat one of the dodgeballs. He really needs some snacks, guys. So we're not off to a good start. The Straw Hats have lost the dodgeball match, which means Foxy can take a crew member, but he doesn't choose Dr. Chopper. He's been impressed with Nico Robin this entire time, actually. And so now Robin is a part of the Foxy Pirates. Not a great start, and the next game is a game of red light, green light. So it's a pretty simple game of red light, green light. If you move when you're not supposed to be moving, you are out. With, of course, the twist that, like, literally anything can happen. Everybody's cheating. But even without all the cheating, Zoro is out pretty much immediately on account of, he gets lost all the time, which is especially impressive. Like, it is just a narrow street. You can see the end point. It's only one road. How did you get lost on one road going one way? Sanji then gets taken out by Porsche Chuan, which means it is up to the weakling trio to clutch this victory. And they would have if it wasn't for Zoro finding his way to the goal at the very end and kicking one of the Foxy Pirates directly onto his crew members, crushing them and handing Foxy the victory for yet another round in this Davy Back fight. And with this victory, of course, Foxy has to pick Dr. Chopper yet again to rejoin his crew. So imagine being Foxy right now. You have now successfully crashed out harder than these lunatics. And you are up 2 team members. One of them looks great in a cowboy hat, and the other one is renowned Dr. Chopper. That's not even including the other people that you've probably beaten in Davy Back fights today. I mean, it's a pretty good day to be a Foxy Pirate, especially because there is only one round left in this Davy Back fight. So even if the Straw Hats win, they're gonna have to choose between Robin or Chopper. They're not gonna be able to take back both. So this is when Nami proposes a plan that would let them get back both Chopper and Robin. She proposes that they each bet 5 crew members instead of just 1 or even 2. And Foxy decides instead to put up his entire crew of over 500 people, which is a little bit wacky, but it effectively gets what the Straw Hats want, because if they win, they can definitely get both Chopper and Robin back. And it is revealed that the next match is just a boxing match between Foxy and Luffy. And when Luffy hears this, he breathes a sigh of relief. He's just like, I've been waiting for this. Now, we really got to put ourselves in Foxy's shoes, okay? It has been a wacky day, indeed. But he has gotten 2 new crew members, and if he wins this one, he gets an additional 5 new crew members. Like, it's a high-risk, high-reward thing for sure, and it might even make sense to make this bet if, we didn't already know who Luffy was. And if Foxy knew Luffy like we know Luffy, he would understand that the last thing he should ever do is get into a boxing match with this unhinged lunatic. Like, Foxy's crazy, but just in like a I do ridiculous things from time to time sort of crazy. Luffy is the I will fight anyone over a grilled cheese sandwich crazy. Just a dummy looking to crash out for absolutely no reason. So when he finds out the last match of the Davy Back fight is gonna be a no-holds-barred boxing match where cheating is allowed, he is pumped up. He's like, you can cheat, you can do whatever you want, really, but there is absolutely nothing you can do to get out of this ass whooping. He tells Foxy that straight up. So unlike everything else in this game, Luffy is taking this boxing match very seriously. Because other than eating some of that spicy cheese, the thought of beating up Foxy has been the one thing that's kept Luffy going throughout this entire Davy Back fight. So just imagine being Foxy, alright? You are on a win streak and you announce that the final match is going to be a boxing match that takes place on your ship. So you're not even letting it be a mystery of whether or not you're gonna cheat. Like, you flat out tell him the boxing match is rigged with explosions. You are going to explode this crackhead. So you're Foxy, you explain all of this to this lunatic, and the crackhead looks you dead in your eyes and is like, good, do whatever you want. It's not gonna matter once I get my hands on you. And then him and his friend buy a bunch of boxing and karate DVDs from the 80s. Like, the two of them say they're gonna go train and get ready for the fight, but you can hear them in the other room. They're just watching every boxing and karate movie that they can. And I'm pretty sure at one point Luffy slides in Black Dynamite because when they come out for the fight, Luffy has picked out an afro. You know these idiots have been doing nothing but practicing fake karate for the last 3 hours, but the look in this lunatic's eyes terrifies you. So as Foxy is staring down Monkey D. Dynamite, you can understand that he's pretty scared at this point in time. He's beginning to understand just how dedicated Luffy is to whooping his ass. But you know, that's not gonna matter because he hasn't even tried cheating yet. So right off the bat, he starts unleashing his explosions and hitting them with a slow beam, which creates basically like a minefield in the air with explosives. The bombs go off and throw Luffy all over the ship, and the crowd watches from the stands wondering if Luffy's okay. There you go, Luffy, give him another one. Go for the body. The body. Usopp, what happened down there? Is Luffy winning? Oh, I have no idea. I heard a bunch of explosions go off and ran back up here immediately. Back on the ship, Foxy is throwing everything he has at this crackhead. Explosions are going off everywhere, and Luffy does not care at all. So eventually Foxy is in full panic mode, and Luffy is just chasing him all around this ship. Just literally running from this ass whooping Luffy's about to give him, and Luffy is not gonna let him get out of it. Foxy tries everything to get out of this. He even tries dressing up as a woman to throw Luffy off. Excuse me, miss, have you seen a fat, ugly, homeless guy running through here? No, I don't think I have. He also probably smells like booze, since I'm assuming is an alcoholic, which he might not be, but if I woke up every morning and I looked like that, I would hit the bottle immediately and never look back. So Foxy attacks Luffy because he fell for his disguise, and that's when he runs away to try to get into another disguise to escape his ass whooping. Hello, Afro boy. I am a cook and nothing else. You got a weird ass head, but have you seen a fat, ugly alcoholic running through here? Probably smells like shit because he pooped his pants running from these hands. God damn, man. Aha! You must be his brother. So Foxy's cover gets blown again, and Luffy just keeps chasing him around this ship that keeps exploding. Foxy seriously pulls out all of the stops to get Luffy off his trail and to stop this ass whooping. He even pulls out this thing called the Foxy Fighter, which is no joke, a Green Goblin-esque hovercraft with a bomb strapped to the front of it. Like, there's no nuance. He's just gonna float the thing over there and explode it. So he uses that thing to blow Luffy up again, and again, Luffy does not care. He gets back up and he's like, I didn't hear no bell. I mean, can you imagine how scary it is to be Foxy? You don't really want to fight this guy as it is, but this whole time, this guy's got blood in his eyes. He's chasing you around this ship, singing to himself. He's the best around. Nothing's ever gonna keep you down. Just as he beats your ass, he's singing to himself. He's the best around. Nothing's ever gonna keep you down. If I was Foxy, I'd be terrified. For one thing, I started this fight, and I didn't have to pick a boxing match for the very last game. Like, if Big News Morgans was a part of this story this early on, I guarantee Foxy would have read a newspaper and was like, maybe we just leave this guy alone. But Luffy is on Foxy's ass, and eventually Luffy manages to take a piece of glass and reflect Foxy's slow beam at him. So now Foxy is just caught. He's real slow for about 30 seconds, and in that 30 seconds, Luffy whoops his ass. I'm pretty sure he just lays into him one solid punch. But that one punch is enough to solidly end the fight. Luffy throws his hands up in victory, and Foxy flies off into the sunset. It is over. There is no more fighting left to be had. Foxy really thought he was gonna get one over on these crazy looking people without ever considering the fact that maybe this guy is crazier than I am. But it's over, and it's time for Foxy and the Foxy Pirates to face the music. Luffy picks up Chopper and Robin, and then 497 other Foxy Pirates, basically leaving just Foxy, Hamburg, and Porsche Tuan. And he also takes their flag and gives it the Laboon Special. So now not only does Foxy only have like 2 other crew members, but now also whenever Foxy goes anywhere, people are gonna think his flag was drawn by a Neanderthal. Whoever drew that flag should be put in a cage. And then when they ask him, why does your flag look so dumb? You have to recount the day that you met a dangerous crackhead and his band of lunatics. So yeah, Foxy feels really dumb, but he is not without his pride. He sails off into the sunset and says, we will meet again, Mugiwara. It sucks leaving your crew behind, but like 5 minutes later, Luffy's like, all right, everybody that I just got that isn't Chopper and Robin, get get the hell out of here. So Luffy literally gets all these crew members and then kicks them out immediately. Like, you can join Foxy if you want. You can stay here. I don't care. You're not coming with us. So if you were Foxy, you would be pretty upset. You just had to leave your whole crew behind only for 2 minutes later to hear them screaming, Foxy, we were wrong. Come back. We need you, boss. Maybe Foxy comes back and he actually does some stuff. I would love to talk about it. But otherwise, we are on our way to Water 7. But yeah, just to clarify, I had a really fun time with this arc. Again, it's really tragic that it's an arc that's sandwiched in between 2 filler arcs, which are already just so rare in One Piece. And when you've got an arc where all they're doing is playing carnival games, I can't fault anybody for skipping it. I really can't. You know, I would be more mad if you skipped G8 than I would if you skipped Long Ring, Long Land. Like, is Foxy gonna come back at the end of One Piece? Like, where we are now in the story, is Foxy some sort of lurking legend? That would be so funny. Is Foxy an Elbaf? Let me stop. That would be so funny. Either way, this arc was a lot of fun. It's not that long if you want to give it a rewatch. I had a really good time. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being interested. And I cannot wait to see you in the next one.